Hey, God bless you all. So, have you heard about the homeless lady in Maine who was brutally stabbed to death in broad daylight, in public, in front of her sons? Yeah, it's really disturbing because she was stabbed to death by an older man who had already spent time in prison for stabbing another woman to death. This is a massive issue, and this was really upsetting on a couple accounts because the defense lawyer was all like, well, there's no call-ins to the police or no records with the police, and it's like, anyone who has any run-ins with the police know not only do they habitually not do their job, not only do they habitually look the other way, re-victimize the victim, twist everything around. I personally had it where they won't even write down why they came out. I've had it even when I live in a house that the authorities would do absolutely nothing, even with the extremely violent attack. They would do absolutely nothing. Not with me, but I've seen this with other females, whether it's a violent physical attack or they're being stalked. Like, the people in charge will do absolutely nothing. They want to be like, oh, he just has a crush, or oh, you're just imagining things. They always are a reason why they won't listen to women. It's really disturbing. And this guy had brutally stabbed his wife to death like 40 years ago. They gave him some time in prison. And for some bizarre reason, this nation is very impure. So many people identify with the wicked. They go to bat for the wicked incessantly. And so instead of purging him out immediately, anyone who brutally murders, who is brutally raping, involved in sex slavery, that's automatic death penalty. These people are not safe. They never will be safe. And this murderer got out because they said, oh, well, he's in his 60s now, so he's just so old. He can't harm anyone. So now he's in his 70s and he has brutally murdered another woman. It's just despicable. If society had taken care of him 4 decades ago, this woman could be alive taking care of her sons. There's no reason for her to be dead. It's just despicable how the society habitually comes to the aid of predators and re-victimize victims. How many victims do we need by the same predator before anyone will stand up and go, yeah, you know what, enough is enough. This is ridiculous. We have every right to be safe. There is no age that wickedness becomes safe. It's just, we've gotten away from the death penalty, and now life no longer means life, which is ludicrous. And I've heard it with other things too, even with females. Oh, they're too old to serve any time. It's like, well, if they were old enough to do the crime, then they're old enough to do the time. It's really disturbing that the ignorance. People are never too old to be wicked, and if they have spent a lifetime being wicked, they're not going to suddenly go, oh, well, I'm an old fart. I'm going to be a goody two-shoes now. We need protection, and it's really sad. The defense lawyer is going on about how there's nothing on records with the cops. Well, did she go? Or did she have so many bad experience with cops, she was like, whatever. Because, this is like a triple whammy. Not only is she a female, she's also homeless. And then when you're dealing with a super old person, murdered to death in broad daylight in front of her son, stabbed to death. That's intense. That's not okay. And the fact someone could actually defend him is just despicable. Another thing that's been happening with the homeless in Florida. Florida is such a nasty place. Because it's already, I know in one town they had illegalized giving homeless citizens food. And I even saw pastors getting arrested and going to jail over it. Now, this nasty, strong black mayor from West Palm Beach, yeah. If your only resort is to bully your fellow citizens, you're not strong. And this is his claim, that, and other people's claim that he's a strong leader. He's a strong black leader. No, you're a black bully. And as usual, I mean, and I've been a minority. I have lived in a couple towns where whites are definitely the minority. The hatred of non-whites towards whites. Whew, whites don't have anything. On non-whites, holy crap. I guess they're tired of CNN puppet mouths who have only watch news and live in all white communities tell me which end is up. It's like, I got a few towns you could live in, and then tell me how only whites can be racist and how great everyone else is and how the diversity is just so enriching. I love like driving around and not even be able to do like acts of kindness because a gang will come hunt me down and kill me. I lived in one town. They're like, don't ever. Well, they had a thing where this gang was flipping things on its head, where an act of kindness was actually that would put a mark on you, and they would come hunt you down and kill you. I'm just like, are you kidding? Like, diversity. It's so enriching, yet again. There's a reason why everyone is fleeing from white nations, really. Oh, wait, no, they're not. So this nasty mayor in West Palm Beach, mind you, we're already denied any respect, any rights, any protection, male bathrooms regularly. I mean, even I get denied bathrooms, showers. Now this nasty mayor, this bully mayor, this intolerant man who refuses to work with and for his citizens, and homeless are citizens. Whether you like it or not, we are citizens. We are part of the community. He's blasting music, kiddie music at night, so the homeless can't even sleep. Because that will help matters. It's just mind-numbing how many communities are going to bat for illegals. I mean, even demanding that they have IDs, and yet you habitually harass, for the most part, most of you will habitually harass the homeless, your fellow citizens. Really, we're not even allowed to sleep. I mean, it's already hairy. I mean, I got lit up last night. He didn't knock, which I appreciated, but he did light me up. I mean, and it doesn't matter if you're in a car or on the streets, because I know plenty of guys on the streets who just have homeowners come out, like, get the hell away from here. It's just like, okay, they're not on your property, they're near it, but they're not on it, they're not in your house, they're not walking in. I love it. Walk into America, that's okay, we'll fight for you tooth and nail, but oh my gosh, if you get near my house and you're white, I'm going to throw a hissy fit and have the cops come. I'm going to first threaten you, and then I'm going to have the cops come after you. And that brings us to, oh my gosh, did you see that video with AOC and her big crocodile tears at the border? I'm so tired of people going down to the border of Texas. Like, in this day and age, you don't need to, like, fly down there. That's, like, so anti-environment just to, like, take these, oh my gosh, DC takes so many ridiculous, they just travel way too much. They just spend way too much resources. So she went down there screaming that it's all about the injustice. The injustice is that you're actually fighting and encouraging people to come up illegally, which is not only pitting girls in danger of being raped and being kidnapped into the sex slavery industry, but also you're harming your very nation. Where's your crocodile tears for all your fellow citizens, AOC? Why aren't you on Skid Row crying about that injustice? Why aren't you at the Federal Reserve crying about all the injustice they screw with our money and the loans? Why aren't you? I don't know. There's so many places so many injustice. I mean, people are getting locked up just for walking down the street. People are getting locked up just for sleeping. Because we can only get so many tickets and then they lock us up. Where's your injustice for us? Y'all will cry about, what was it, the other year? The ridiculous, like, inmates in Missouri were shedding a tear because they didn't have any air conditioning. And then so they gave them air conditioning and then they said it was too cold. Oh my gosh. That's part of, breaking trust with society. You don't get everything. You lose some things. Which really sucks because a lot of homeless people, we haven't necessarily broken trust with society. But we're paying for the price for really bad laws and really nasty people who have really screwed a lot of things up. And just like, what was it? Pence went down and they're crying about showers. I don't get no showers. I will literally go months in the winter without showering because it's so cold. And then when they shut the water off, that doesn't help. And there's very few places to shower, and it's so gnarly. Oh, they had one, it got warm enough this spring, and I'm like, oh, I'm finally going to go take a shower. And it was so asinine. They had this portable shower unit that took up all this area where the showers were. They actually brought it to where the showers were. It's like, where was this when it was cold out? And why aren't you bringing this? Why are you bringing portable showers to the showers? Why aren't you bringing this where we park and where people are on the streets? Oh, it's just so mind-numbing. And, yeah, so then one fourth thing, that Virginia lady, the runaway who got sucked into the sex slavery with Jeffrey Epstein, yeah, I believe it was her testimony that a judge threw out. And really, all this, I mean, by the grace of God, this is coming back because it was ludicrous what happened last time. I mean, with everything he's tied to, and they get him on 2 little charges and then he gets a whole wing of the jail to himself. And then he only has to be there, 10 hours a day? I've heard a couple things. He either had to be there 10 or 12 hours a day. And then the rest of the day, he was just on his own. So God bless all those victims with justice. And again, this nasty lawyer who has, and I believe he was the one a couple months ago who was on The View bragging about how he has gotten murderers off the hook. Now he's, again, representing and just doing a character assassination on these females, which is just despicable. And the one was a runaway. She was homeless. And when do we stop believing the lies? When do we start protecting each other? Where is the loyalty? There's so little loyalty in this nation, for our nation, for each other. It's really sad. So, anyways, those of you who have mercy on the homeless, thank you. It's much appreciated. And the rest of you should really find some loyalty. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. It takes a second to get injured, to get a disease. And now that we're being flooded with even more people and people from Ebola nations. You're so poor you crossed an ocean? Wow. Wow, the destruction of white nations are just stunning. Why the hell those who are able-bodied aren't standing up is just so perplexing, I have to say. So, God bless you all. I hope you can have some loyalty to your own nation and own culture. This is not okay. Destroying us, destroying me is just so inappropriate. It's not going to get you ahead further down the line. How are these leaders not being brought up on treason charges? That's what I want to know. I mean, they're doing anything and everything to destroy this nation.